Accounting class of Business Information Technology Group 15.
We'll be discussing knowledge management and e-learning.
My name is Amarachi Mukwala.
My name is Lorilo Atemidayo.
I'm Jamberi Amarachi.
I'm Okewo Tolani.
I'm Adebisi Gbemisola. Intellectual capital. Intellectual capital are all intangible assets and resources, example goodwill, patent, and so on, of an enterprise that are not recorded under any accounting conventional report, but they had value one way or the other, and they help in the growth of the business or in achieving competitive advantage, which is having an edge over competitors and attracting new customers. Basically, we have three types of intellectual capital: the structural capital, the social capital, and the human capital. The human capital basically includes experiences or knowledge garnered or possessed by an organization employee. And the social capital is the quality of the relationships that employees have, not just within one another, but the relationship they have with their clients, their customers, their suppliers, and so on. Then we have the structural capital. The structural capital are knowledge stored as documentation, but they are stored electronically, and they are about business processes, procedures, policies, process, and other aspects of the organization operation. The organization needs to document its intellectual capital so that knowledge can be passed from one generation to the other, and this is where knowledge management comes in. So my colleague will expatiate more on what knowledge management is. Thank you.
Before I go into knowledge management, I'll talk about the types of knowledge. There are two types of knowledge: explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. The explicit knowledge is the type of knowledge that can be documented. It is stored in information systems, in websites, in spreadsheets, manuals, and handbooks. While tactic knowledge is more elusive. It encompasses insights, judgment, creative works, and wisdom that can only be gotten from learning and experience in the field. So, knowledge management, they are the set of systematic approaches organizations use to become more systematic in managing intellectual capital. There are four major steps in knowledge management: identification of goals by the organization, location of sources of knowledge, capturing knowledge itself, and organizing, sharing, and value of knowledge.
The human element in organizations involves the employees and staff, which makes up the organization. And the intellectual capital basically is all their knowledge and all their expertise that they have garnered over the years in dealing with clients, and what puts them over the edge over other employees. Now, some issues may arise in bringing about knowledge management and sharing their information with other employees. They might feel that, one, they might use more of their time to do more productive things rather than sharing information. They might also feel that it may take away their competitive edge over other employees. Three components can be used to define the relationship between knowledge management and the human elements. They involve the content issue, incentive, and the semantic web. With the content issue, issues of lack of content. If there's insufficient content on the knowledge management system, it will discourage employees from going back there to get information or uploading their own information. So also, we have complicated technology. If the technology is complicated, people wouldn't want to be bothered about it, as they might use their time for more productive things. With incentive, knowledge management sharing incentives might raise up some issues, as in employees might feel like they are not being paid enough to share their information and would shy away from the knowledge management system. Strict guidelines has to be adopted by the organizations to make sure that the incentives are not too high, neither are they too low, but they are equal to make people want to share their information. Semantic web, when we talk about the semantic web, we talk about Web 3, which has a futuristic approach. It is projected that it's going to bring about drastic changes in the way customers and businesses relate. It is a web with meaning which links online resources and creates a relationship between these online resources in a way that could be easily understood by humans and gather information from different databases into one location. It makes use of the research description framework, which basically finds properties in different resources and then pulls them together to create one big database of information.
Learning is central to an organization's ability to build intellectual capital, and e-learning plays an essential role in that. E-learning uses information technology to connect trainees with instructors, instructional materials, and other trainees, and there are three approaches to e-learning. Number one, there is the self-paced learning. So what the self-paced learning does is that the trainees independently use the online materials to study themselves. There is the instructor-led learning. So an instructor guides the trainees through the course using online classrooms, emails, and etc. And the third one is the hybrid. So what the hybrid does, it combines the self-paced learning with the instructor-led learning for a cohesive study guide. So there are four essentials to course development. Number one, that's the subject matter expert. This is the course expert that knows what should be covered in the course. There is the instructional designer who is well skilled and knowledgeable, that knows the best e-learning approach for the course. And of course, there's the project manager and the project sponsor.
My colleague has introduced us to e-learning, so I'll be talking about learning management system. Learning management system is used to deliver learning courses, track student progresses, and manage their educational records. Learning management system includes online registrations, assessment tools, and collaborative technologies. Learning management system can also be explained as a software technology that is used for administration, documentation, tracking, and reporting of educational courses and their training programs. Learning management system provide instructors with a way to create and deliver content, monitor students' participation, and assess student performances. Learning management can be used by government agencies, educational institutions, and e-learning based institutions. Some of the features of learning management systems are: number one, responsive design. This basically talks about students being able to access the platform from whatever device they choose, be it a tablet, a mobile device, or a laptop. They will be able to access the courses in the learning management system. Learning management system should also have a user-friendly interface where the students will be able to navigate easily through the platform. Learning management system should be able to analyze assessment tools to track performances. The primary use of learning management system is for knowledge management, and the specific use will vary according to the organization's strategy and goals. Other organizations aside educational institutions can also employ the use of learning management system. Thank you.